of Surah Yasin. Please make sure to tune in every single day for the next couple days of Ramadan. Inshallah, we look forward to uh, finishing the surah and then potentially hearing all of Yasin by one of the shuyukh, the Qurra here. And then inshallah, maybe looking into a something else to cover, because we are also covering Imam Ghazali's work every Tuesday and Thursday on the mysteries of fasting, which we are also finishing as well. So as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just completes the description of the people of paradise, he then turns to the disbelievers. He says, وَامْتَازُوا الْيَوْمَ أَيُّهَا الْمُجْرِمُونَ, and stay by yourselves today, O criminals, O these transgressors. So this is why at Dhahak he says that actually the disbelievers they will have their own house in hellfire. So as all of the Muslims, you mentioned here, they're on their canopies, they're on their beds, silk beds, and laughing and enjoying each other. The disbelievers will be in their own house where they cannot see anything. They're all alone and they are being punished. So it also could be that on the Day of Judgment, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending all the believers together, they're all happy and rejoicing. The disbelievers are by themselves. No one wants them. No one wants to help them. No one can benefit them. No one can cry to them. They can cry to no one. And they're realizing their regret is steeping in, right? It's sinking in that they will be going to hellfire. ألم أعهد إليكم ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين. Have I not told you? Have I not given you the covenant? Have I not commanded you, O children of Adam, not to worship the shaitan? Indeed, he is a clear enemy to you. He is a clear enemy to you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, now this they actually mentioned could be from Allah. It could be from it could also be from their messengers, right, when they were with them in the world before they passed away. It can be after they passed away. So there are many times when this could be said to them, right, as a warning to them or as a call for them to regret. Right? Didn't I tell you not to worship the shaitan? And in sense, you're worshiping the shaitan by anything that is going against what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought is worshiping the shaitan. Because the shaitan, his entire mission was to take everyone away from what Allah brought. So if you're not with what Allah brought, then you're with the shaitan. And this is why the majority of creation are essentially worshiping the devil. Regardless of their connection or their spiritual practices, the straight path is very clear. There's no crookedness in it, and it's not murky. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has laid down that very clear, and He's shown it to be, He's shown the upright path as absolutely undeniable. He's sent messengers and clear proof. So those who received those messengers, received those clear proofs, and then clearly denied it and rejected it out of arrogance and disbelief, right, then they listen to the shaitan in that rejection. وَأَنْ يَعْبُدُونِي, and to worship me, هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمٌ. This is the straight path right here. This is the straight path. It could be referring to, looking at the enjoyment of the believers. Look at all of these rewards. This is what the straight path led to. This was the destination of the straight path. Or it could be referring to the messengers. Here are the messengers. This is the straight path in front of you. They're there as guides for you. You just have to follow. All you have to do is accept and believe. وَلَقَدْ أَضَلَّ مِنْكُمْ جِبِلًّا كَثِيرًا أَفَلَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْقِلُونَ. And surely He has led astray a large amount of creation, talking with the shaitan. أَفَلَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْقِلُونَ. Will you not use your intellect? So this is really crucial in understanding the surah, because the entire surah is a proof for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and a proof to believe in Him, His messengers, the straight path, Islam, the final day. So as we mentioned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He builds the case by showing the messengers, by showing their proof, then by showing many different signs. So signs in the universe, signs in the earth, in the heavens, in oneself, in what people create themselves. On top, and then after that, he explains the Day of Judgment, which is what we have to believe in. He shows paradise, which is another thing we have to believe in. He talks about hellfire, which is another doctrine, belief that we have to believe in. And then he returns to the intellect. If you are worshiping the shaitan, the way to get out of that is with your intellect. That the greatest tool Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our intellect. This is why, right, the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one can do it, can learn it by themselves. They don't need a teacher, essentially. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them those teachers and those signs, right, to encourage the intellect, to help it along the path, to get it to that destination. And this is why there's a large group of scholars who say that the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, now, this is not unanimous, but they say that the belief of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be self-evident, because there's so many signs that it is hard to conceive why someone would disagree. Now, obviously, in modern times, we can see why people would be led astray very easily. But essentially, the intellect was created to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a call. Essentially, people are always saying, where is the aqidah in the Quran? This is the aqidah in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, use your intellect to understand and believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's not saying just copy and blindly follow people. He's not saying, don't use your intellect, just feel your heart, go through it with your. He's saying use your intellect. And this is the greatest struggle that we're having now, is that people who don't have a belief that's based on rational principles, they lose their Islam. They lose their Islam. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from that. And he says, هَذِهِ جَهَنَّمُ الَّتِي كُنْتُمْ تُوعَدُونَ. This is the hellfire that you were warned of, that you were promised of, that you were promised. So here it is right now in front of you. إِصْلَوْهَا الْيَوْمَ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْفُرُونَ. Enter into it and burn today for what you used to deny, because of your denial. الْيَوْمَ نَخْتِمُ عَلَىٰ أَفْوَاهِهِمْ. Today we will seal their mouths. وَتُكَلِّمُنَا أَيْدِيهِمْ. And their hands will speak to us. وَتَشْهَدُ أَرْجُلُهُمْ. And their legs will bear witness of what they used to earn. Now, this is because on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will speak to the disbelievers, and he will say, this is what you did. And the disbeliever will say, no, I didn't. And Allah will say, this is what you did. And the disbeliever said, I didn't do this. The believer will say, I did this, oh Allah, and I seek your forgiveness, and Allah will forgive them. And this is why the Prophet says that whoever argues with Allah on the Day of Judgment is going to hellfire. Right, will be punished. Right? So once Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala argues with these disbelievers about what they did, then he will say, okay, I will bring your entire people, everyone you knew, to bear witness against you. So he brings all of them to bear witness against him. And the person will still argue, they don't know me, they're lying. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, okay, he'll seal their mouth so they can't speak, and their hands and their feet will bear witness against them. And after that occurs, then there will be no saving them. They have been, their own limbs will bear witness against them, and they will be taken to hellfire. Right? It could also be that they are, that their limbs and their hands will bear witness while they're trying to speak with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So they're trying to argue with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are being overpowered by the testimony of their limbs, right? So every aspect of them is denying what they are saying. And this is why the tongue has so much power, and they really understood that in our tradition, because of the fact that it can know the truth and still deny it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take away the one thing that knows the truth and denies it, because every other limb and our own intellect can only know the truth. Right? So if one knows the truth, they actually cannot deny it, in the sense that they can't unbelieve it. Right? They can fake it, they can cover it up, they can act like they don't believe in it, they cannot adhere to it, they cannot accept it, but they know it to be true. Right? So their tongue is blocked and they will be bearing witness against by their own limbs. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us on this day. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.